Protecting Americans' health also means fighting infectious diseases. We are coordinating with the Chinese government and working closely together on the coronavirus outbreak in China. My administration will take all necessary steps to safeguard our citizens from this threat.
I want to provide an update on the China coronavirus and talk a bit about the extensive, decisive actions that President Trump and his administration have taken to keep Americans safe in this situation. First, our sympathies go out to the people in the United States, in China, and elsewhere who've been sickened by the virus or have seen loved ones fall ill to it. We were saddened to hear recently of the first death of an American citizen, a 60-year-old woman in Wuhan. Our gratitude goes out to those responding to the outbreak in China and around the world. We're working as quickly as possible on the many unanswered questions about the virus, exactly how rapidly it spreads, how deadly it is, whether it's commonly transmitted by patients who are not yet displaying symptoms, and other issues. There have now been 13 cases of the China coronavirus confirmed in the United States, including 2 cases of transmission to people who had not recently been to China. Right now, our scientists and public health experts are trying to learn more about the virus, using the data we have from China and the cases we have here. In the very near future, we hope our experts will be able to work with their Chinese counterparts and other international experts on the ground in China. The virus is a potentially very serious public health threat. We expect to continue seeing more cases here, in China, and elsewhere. The immediate risk to the American public at this time is low, and we're acting swiftly to keep that risk low. But I want to emphasize, the situation has the potential to change very quickly, and we are constantly preparing mitigation strategies that would be necessary if the situation does change. I'll mention just a few of the ongoing administration-wide actions we've taken. The State Department, HHS, and other agencies have been working to help Americans return to the United States from Wuhan if they so desire. The Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Transportation are working hard in conjunction with the CDC to screen passengers arriving in the United States who have recently been in China and could potentially represent a risk of spread. Our long-standing offer to send our world-class experts to China to assist with their response remains on the table. Last week, the State Department helped deliver 17.8 tons of relief supplies to Hubei, the epicenter of the outbreak. Meanwhile, we're working on the ground in countries around the world, in Africa, Asia, and elsewhere, to assist with detection and prevention. This work is done by CDC field offices, State Department personnel at embassies, and other personnel who have built partnerships with other governments through years of investment in preparedness. Here at home, state and local public health departments are working with the CDC to follow the playbook for an infectious disease response: identify, diagnose, isolate, treat, contact trace. We're working with these local authorities and the private sector to elevate our preparedness efforts so that we can begin to mitigate the spread of the virus if it reaches our shores in larger numbers. Last week, the FDA issued an emergency use authorization for the diagnostic test that was so rapidly developed by the CDC. These test kits are now available for order by U.S., state, and local public health laboratories, Department of Defense laboratories, and select international laboratories. All told, 115 U.S. labs and 191 international labs. Our Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, or BARDA, has been expanding its work with a pharmaceutical company around a candidate therapeutic for the China coronavirus. Research on countermeasures is also ongoing at NIH, which is working on a potential vaccine in conjunction with the private sector. The FDA is actively working to accelerate the development and availability of such countermeasures and to assess the risks that the outbreak could present to American medical supply chains that involve China. This comprehensive response reflects the strength of the American healthcare system, our public health care infrastructure, and our biomedical research enterprise, which are each the finest in the world. In part, we've built such high-quality systems because they've always been a collaboration between the government and the private sector.
爸，你会填2020年人口普查吗？
人口普查？
对呀，每10年一次，重新统计住在美国的每个人。这些数据有助规划公共资金，决定分给学校、诊所、收入等的比例。学校教的。
真好，但是爸爸现在没时间。
爸，很重要，我们一起上2020census.gov， 说不定还能改善交通呢。
那爸感兴趣。
详情请上2020census.gov。